What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Coach Magali. If this is your first video here, thank you so much for being here and welcome. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to prioritize your health if you feel super stretched thin already. Maybe because of work, you're a parent, you have school, or you just have a lot going on, and it's hard for you to understand how you could possibly fit this whole health and fitness thing into your routine without going crazy. And I'm gonna hopefully be able to help you in this video. So before we get started, don't forget to like the video to let me and the algorithm know that you guys enjoy videos like this so that I can make more. Make sure you subscribe before you go so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. And with that being said, let's get right into how to incorporate a health and fitness routine into your life when you have a lot going on and it just feels incredibly difficult to do so. I first want to start by clarifying something incredibly important. Health and fitness and this whole lifestyle change has to work for you. It has to work with your preferences, your schedule, your goals, whatever matters to you. Because although it's very easy to feel by scrolling on social media or following certain influencers or people in general that health and fitness look a very specific way, going to the gym every day, eating extremely healthy, no junk food ever, drinking 5,000 gallons of water a day, no days off kind of thing. Although that's the popular idea of what health and fitness is very personal. It looks different for everybody and it's going to look different for you. I'm gonna be honest. You may not be a bodybuilder, or you may not be able to compete, or you may not even have the most optimal physique you possibly could. But when it comes to health and fitness and just being healthier, there are so many ways to achieve it. There are so many things that work for so many different people, and you are no exception. So understand that you have no ideal to meet. There is no one way to do this. It has to work for you. It has to be realistic for you. And for that to happen, it has to be personal, and therefore it has to be different than what you see online. So please know that although you may feel like you can't possibly be that person, that doesn't mean that you can't be healthy and you can't have a fit lifestyle. You can. It's just gonna look a little bit different. And here's another thing. To be healthy and live a better quality life, you don't have to do a ton of things. I know it's easy to feel overwhelmed and like, oh my God, I have to change my entire life. I have to make all of these changes. And although yes, over time, there are lots of changes that have to be made, but in the beginning, when you're just getting started and you're just trying to fit this into your lifestyle, you don't have to do much to feel a difference. And I think you know exactly what I'm talking about, because whenever you get the motivation to try it again or to give it a shot, like those first few days, you feel really good and you didn't change your entire life yet because you just started. To start implementing this into your life, you don't have to do a lot. So how I like to approach this conversation is, what matters to you? What is important to you? What do you want to change? What result do you want? And then what are you willing to work for? Because those two things are different, right? What you want, ideal fantasy world, no problems, no obstacles, this is my ideal. And then what am I actually physically, mentally, emotionally capable of dedicating myself to? Those are going to be different things. Ideally, you want to align them. But maybe right now, we have to focus on the one that we actually can do. One of the best questions you can ask yourself to figure this out is, what are the 1 to 3 things that if I know changed in my life, I would feel better, I would look better, I would feel healthier, I would have more energy. And this isn't to say that these are the 3 things you're going to focus on for the rest of your life. Of course not. This is just to get you started. This is just to get the momentum going. Let's say your answers were, I want to work out 3 to 4 times a week. I want to eat more vegetables in my diet, and I want to drink more water. These goals are very specific and they're very simple. They're not complicated. They don't require massive radical changes. Small, realistic, attainable goals. And then you look at each one of them and you say, what is one thing that I can do to work on it? For example, with water. I know most of you are made up of 80% caffeine, or energy drinks, which are also caffeine, or soda, or juice, 0% water, basically. Let's say right now you're averaging barely a 16-ounce water bottle. That's pretty low. What if you doubled your water intake? What if you did 32? The ideal is your body weight divided by 2 in ounces to start with. So let's say you weigh 180, it would be at least 90 ounces, but what if you just started with 32? And then once 32 was relatively easy, you bump it up to 48, or whatever the next milestone for you would be. One thing to improve your water content, we're going to add a 16-ounce bottle every single day. We're going to commit to 2 water bottles. You want to eat more greens. Let's say you barely eat vegetables, maybe once or twice a week at most, and it's like a tiny little serving of spinach when you do. Safe to say you're not eating any vegetables right now. What if you added 1 to 2 servings every single day? Just 1 to 2. Is the ideal 1 to 2? No, you'd like to have at least 3 to 5, but 1 to 2, you do that consistently. Once again, when you have the capacity, you've built the commitment, you have the consistency under your belt, then you can worry about adding more. Once it's easier to jump, you go from A to B, and then from B to C, and then C to D, so forth and so on. If you try to go from A to W, that's where we fail. That's where we go backwards. That's where we binge eat. That's where we start over, and the whole cycle continues. But if you just did 1 to 2 servings of vegetables every single day, that would elicit a lot of changes, and it's not a big thing to do. And then the one of working out. Let's say you haven't stepped foot in a gym in years, and you're like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know what program to follow. I don't even know what to do. Oh my God. Okay, what if we do one of 2 things? If you have a gym membership, go to the treadmill and commit to 3 times 20-minute walks. Or if you don't have a gym membership just yet, commit to those walks outdoors. Do it consistently for 4 weeks. At that point, you can decide, okay, I'm ready for the next step. I am ready to add 1 gym session, or I'm willing to make one of my treadmill sessions a weighted session, and you can kind of figure that out once you get there. Again, A to B, B to C, and so forth. And by choosing 3 things to focus on that would really make a difference for you and would really impact your health, your energy, your mood, you gain the confidence, like, hey, maybe I can handle this. Maybe this isn't so impossible as I once thought. Whenever my clients are feeling really stretched thin, or I myself have felt that way, or I've seen other people, it always comes down to we're trying to jump from A to way over there in one go. And we just don't work that way. The majority of us don't. Instead of trying to do that and getting yourself overwhelmed and discouraged before even starting, set the goal smaller. Set the threshold so low that it's almost hard not to do it. And then you do that and do that and do that. You build the confidence, you build the momentum, you can go to the next level. Imagine if you did that for the next year, how much better off you would be. How many more good habits would be in your life without having to change your life all at once and add more overwhelm and add more things to do that are way outside what's realistic for you. Imagine how different your life could be. We as people struggle with understanding that like change happens in bites. It happens one thing at a time. But we get way ahead of ourselves because we want to get there faster. We are not patient. But if you just implemented small little things like this on a regular basis, you created a routine out of it, you made sure that you committed to the days that you were going to go walk on the treadmill, you better go. And if something comes up, you better go the next day. Make it happen. But it has to be those smaller bites so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming. You can pat yourself on the back for accomplishing something, and then use that confidence and that energy to do the next thing, and to do the next thing, and to do the next thing. And before you know it, you're somebody who's healthy, you're somebody who has a health routine, you're living a lifestyle that you never thought was possible for you, even despite all of the things that are going on in your life and all of the ways you're being stretched thin already. It's possible, and it doesn't require this massive amount of commitment like most people believe it does. If you want to get there in the future, that's fine. Of course, aim for as high as you want to go. But right now it's about just, again, establishing that consistency, getting our foot moving forward, little by little. And while you're doing all of this, remember your path and your routine and what works for you is not going to be what works for everybody, and vice versa. Some people may be losing more weight than you. If you are able and willing to commit to more exercise, more strictness on your diet, then you follow that path. But if that's not where you're at right now, not losing weight is okay. Right now, that's just not the phase that you're in, and that's okay. And don't feel that if you're not doing what everybody else is doing and you're not getting the exact same results that everybody else is getting, that what you're doing is not worth it. Because the alternative is what? Nothing? And we know how that one feels already. When life gets crazy, when you feel so overwhelmed and stretched thin that you can't fathom adding the health and the fitness into your routine, 1 to 3 things that matter the most to you. and then one thing for each of those things that you can actually act on and do consistently, but it's not so hard that it almost seems impossible. Something basic, something simple, like walks, adding a couple vegetable servings a day, adding a little bit more water, adding one gym day to your routine, step by step. And then you stay consistent. You have to make it happen, right? All of this planning and writing down, or however you organize your thoughts throughout this video, it has to be implemented. It has to be done for you to receive the feedback and to feel confident and to be able to move forward. So you actually have to go out and do it. And then once you do it consistently and it's now become part of your lifestyle, become part of your routine, you can worry about complicating things and pushing yourself even more. And now since you passed level 1, essentially, level 2 and 3 are gonna seem a lot easier and maybe not as overwhelming as it feels for you right now. It's just about being 1% better. Little by little. We overestimate what we can do in a short amount of time, but we underestimate how much we can get done if we just take bites at a time for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years. It's almost insane how much different your life could be if you just stuck to this principle. Even if you're overwhelmed, even if you have a lot going on, you are still worthy of taking care of yourself. And I would argue you guys are the ones that need it the most. You need to take care of yourself when you have all of these stressors going on, because you are affected, your family's affected, everybody around you is affected. And I know that it doesn't feel great when you're not taking care of yourself, when you're not feeling healthy, when you're not feeling energetic, when you're not really eating great. But the solution, again, is not to change your entire life in one night, to cut out all the foods, to commit to the gym daily. No, 1 to 3 things. That's it. And if you find yourself complicating it more than that, I promise you're going to end up in the same cycle you have been up until this point. Do this the right way. Actually write them down, choose those 1 to 3 things and the action items for each one. And if you do it consistently, you're not gonna regret it. Then you're gonna see how incredibly effective that is. 1% better. And that's how you incorporate a healthy routine and fitness into your super busy, super stressful, super chaotic lives. That's all I have for you guys today. Again, remember, your path is different. One thing at a time, make it work for you, be realistic, but also be accountable. Things are gonna happen for you, I promise. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, I would appreciate if you liked the video again. Also, if you know anybody who struggles with this concept or feels like they can't possibly have a healthy routine because they have a lot going on, maybe this video can help them as well. So I would appreciate if you sent it their way. Hopefully it's able to help them as well. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this and for more content. I hope you stick around, and thanks so much for being here. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.